strange. There we go. Line across the live broadcaster. Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Good early afternoon from Prague. Felt an inspirational nudge, a bit of guidance to talk about blogging struggles and why so many bloggers appear to struggle quite terribly or just have such a difficult time getting going. I was checking out a Facebook group, and of course there's a lot of reasons why bloggers struggle, but one of the simplest, most direct ways to understand why a lot of bloggers have a really tough time succeeding revealed itself a few minutes ago as I scrolled down a Facebook group for bloggers. Now, felt a nudge to share these short reels in a number of different spots to be helpful. And I check out some of these groups, and you will see that there are an increasing number of people blogging more effectively, intelligently, from a clearer space, which is awesome. But one of the reasons why most bloggers struggle rears its ugly head a number of these groups quite frequently. And this is really common throughout most of life, guys. This is pretty endemic of the ego and the world in general. When I was scrolling up and down this group, and again, I see it quite often, a fair chunk of bloggers were using the group to try to get traffic to their blog, to try to get blogging income for themselves, to try to get clients for themselves, try to get customers for themselves. And it was almost as if they completely ignored posts published by other bloggers in the group, other human beings, questions asked by other bloggers in the group, concerns stated by other bloggers in the group. It reflected back to me, mirrored back to me, and I've gone through these stretches as well. Don't get it twisted here. Don't get me wrong. Guilty as charged. We all have been. Come on. We've all been there. But it is such a common cause of blogging struggle. And I don't want to say it's easy to see because it's impossible to see when you're thinking only about yourself. When you're thinking only about your needs as a blogger, only about your traffic, only about you, I-itis, me-itis, I-itis, me-itis, ego. But it is kind of funny in a way when you see so many bloggers in the group who think, feel, and act and behave as if no other human being exists in the group. I mean that literally. Like you'll see a group with however many people, 30,000 people, and somebody asks a question, nobody answers it. And it's a genuine question, how to get started. Now I pop in and I'll read, I won't go all the way down, but I'll see that question and I'll answer it. Or I will post a link to my blog, which points to a post where I, in clear, vivid detail, lay out with free, valuable, helpful content, step by step, how to start a blog. So I give the blogger a thorough, detailed, rich, helpful answer to their question. It's really simple when you think it through, but most bloggers struggle so terribly because they're completely unaware in their mind, this fear, this desire that's just focusing inward, this struggle that they create by not even thinking about helping other human beings, by not listening to them, by acting almost like the other humans don't exist. It's almost like in these groups and just with blogging in general, when you're coming in your mind from this deep fear and terror of loss, You think only about yourself. You don't think about other human beings. Goodness knows you don't think about helping other human beings. And you see them in essence as numbers on a screen, as things to be manipulated, as ways to make money and get traffic. You, in your fear, completely dehumanize other humans. And since the way to succeed is to generously help other human beings to be truly helpful, of course you're going to struggle because you're avoiding doing the one thing that would actually help you succeed. And this is a very uncomfortable question to ask yourself and to wait for answer-wise in the beginning, egoically. I mean, if you want to be honest and truthful and get right to it, it's not as uncomfortable. But it is so difficult in the beginning to train your mind to ask honest questions and wait for honest answers so that you realize that the source of every single blogging struggle is fear in your mind. And one of these chief fears is the terror of not succeeding, wasting time, failing, losing money, like all these different fears that are just common, which scare you into thinking only about yourself so that you completely ignore the needs of others, the questions of others. It becomes all about you and your blog. And the problem with that, why you will always struggle as long as you blog, even if it's for 30 years, is that the success flows from you helping other people who visit your blog, and then they'll gradually grow your business referral-wise, or they'll hop on board themselves. Like all of your success is in helping other human beings and listening compassionately to them and carefully and genuinely. And there's so few bloggers who do that because they're so focused on themselves. So you'll even see, and it's okay to express yourself through your blog and to have that be one of the first points that goads you, that guides you into this game where you hop in. Like you'll see that, and that's cool. Self-expression, expressing yourself, doing something you're passionate about, sharing your thoughts with the world, that's awesome. But you'll see a lot of new bloggers who make the very common mistake of only blogging in the beginning for themselves and expressing their thoughts and never thinking about the questions of their potential readers, the needs of their potential readers, which avatar, ideal reader they want to target. They give no thought to this, and that's a huge mistake because they're the ones who are going to collaborate and co-create with you to help you succeed. If you don't think about who you're blogging for, you will. And if you're thinking only about your thoughts and sharing your thoughts, you will publish a cyber diary. I guarantee it. So you'll be publishing posts for yourself, which is cool if you just want to express yourself. But if you plan on actually attracting readers, guys, you will struggle horribly until you really think about these folks and helping them and listening to them and connecting with them and collaborating with other bloggers, collaborating with people who take an interest in your blog by reading their comments, or just thinking about what they want you to blog about. Instead of you just thinking about, well, I don't care what they think. I just want to share my thoughts. Go for it. Do that. You'll be blogging for yourself. And this is something I've been blogging for 15 years, guys. That's a long time in this world. That's like 100 years offline because things change within every 3 months, every 6 months, these dramatic worldly changes, which are illusions. I get it. And you got to stick to the fundamentals, but I've just seen this mistake, and I've made it myself, of course, all bloggers, made so many times where bloggers struggle terribly because they're blogging only for themselves, thinking about themselves, thinking about their money, thinking about their blogging, and thinking about their traffic, them, their metrics, their social shares, and they don't think for a moment, or maybe it's just for a few moments, and they scramble back to itis and ego-itis. They don't think about helping other human beings and collaborating with them. And again, guys, this one group, it may have been in this group, where I saw 20,000 members, and I get it. A lot may not be active. Most may not be active. But you see there are a fair number of members that are active enough to drop their link. And then you see this, as they drop the link, it's like, come to my blog, check it out, check it out. You guys want to check it out? You guys want to check it out? And the mistake is, guys, you have to look at this really clearly and own it. And it's uncomfortable in the beginning because the ego is not going to want you to do this. But it's saying like, well, I'm a blogger who will be blogging for other human beings to be helpful. And that's where all the happiness and joy is anyway. Why in God's name am I not listening to these people? Why am I not answering their questions? Why am I not going out to help them? Why am I just dropping a link and say, hey, check out my blog? If it were that easy, we'd all be billionaires within a week or maybe a month. Nah, that's a bit much. Maybe we'd be millionaires within a year. Well, 6 months. Because if you just drop the link in like 7,000 Facebook groups, if you drop the link in like 40, let's say you drop a link in 100,000 spots over the next 6 months, and you just said, hey, visit my blog. And everybody say, oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. It's funny how the ego works. It's insane. It's not thinking. There's no thought. And it's okay if you're in this type of spot right now and you're struggling so horribly, and you admit to yourself like, yeah, this Brian Bidoff, this Blogging Paradise guy, what he's talking about, that's been my problem. I'm just thinking about myself. You kind of got to collaborate with other human beings, or else you're literally publishing a cyber diary. You got to listen. And then the ego will say, no, because I have all these problems and I've done that before and I've tried helping people. Yet when you look at the top bloggers in the world, you will see that they don't move in that direction. They help, they teach, like, help people patiently. Be genuine. Be truly helpful. And we think about this from the level of mind. Your greatest happiness is in helping people. It's in being truly helpful, because that's what you're here for. And the worldly stuff will come to you if you get lost. Lose yourself in having fun, helping other people. That's love. Everything else is fear when you're self-centered, and the struggles will come. And even if you get really good at manipulating people, and there have been a few bloggers over the years that appeared to reach the top because they're super manipulative and they're very good at using fear to manipulate others because of their own fear, they fall apart. I mean, mentally, but their blogging campaign falls apart and they lose their reputation, credibility, and they disappear. It happens more often than you think. But then you'll see these bloggers that are doing it from a really sound energy of love and care and being genuine, and they reach the top. They are patient, and maybe things don't appear to be coming together for a while, but they keep being truly helpful, and they relax and they don't panic, or maybe they have these panic moments and they let them go. And as they keep doing that, then you start seeing these people all over the place, and their success grows and it becomes exponential over the long haul, because they're focused on helping other human beings, not in trying to get people to do things for them. It's a completely different mindset, guys. And it's alien to the world, because most of what you see in the world, this is why it's uncomfortable when you first start introducing yourself to this concept. Most of the world is just self-centered and focused on surviving as far as mind. So you're starting this blogging gig and you still have that momentum of, well, let me focus on myself and get traffic and do this and do that and survive and get rich. And you're thinking about me, itis, me, itis. And then you come across some blogger who's like, pump the brakes, buddy. You will struggle forever until you think outward, until you think about readers, until you think about collaborating, you think about listening, until you put yourself out there. That's very scary for a lot of bloggers, to put themselves out there. It just is. But you have to, or else you'll struggle forever. It will never change. You can't outwork the fundamentals. You can't outwork the basics. You could work 30 hours in a row and try to manipulate the system, but if you're not listening to and helping human beings who are highly interested in your niche, you're toast. Can't do it. You can't do it by yourself. When I look up and down these different Facebook groups or wherever, Threads, and it's all about me, me, me. And I see this one group, 25,000 members, and someone asks a question and then someone drops, nobody answers it. Or in one other case, somebody dropped the link and it was, join my business opportunity. We will help you with our business. You're entitled to promote your business. But the intelligent thing to do when someone asks you for help is to give them a complete answer to that question. You could write it as a comment, but it's even more intelligent from leveraging potential, because people keep coming, asking you the same questions, to write a blog post, an in-depth, long-form, detailed blog post, and then link to that and address the individual by name. Because it's human, it's empathetic, it's loving, it's caring. Here's the answer. That helps you be truly helpful, which feels good. And organically, when you're not all caught up in trying to squeeze stuff out of people, but you're helping them to squeeze business, traffic, income, those are the type of human beings. You're dealing with human beings now, guys, that will gradually follow your blog, and they will join your business opportunity or hire you to coach them. Not everyone, but you organically do this, you'll find that these are the type of folks that over time, or maybe sooner than later, will buy your ebook or buy your course. It's so simple logically. Emotionally, it seems impossible when you're just mired in fear and thinking only about yourself. And you will struggle forever. This is a chief cause of blogging struggle. Thinking only about yourself, your traffic, what you want to share, and not thinking about other human beings, not listening to them, not answering their questions, not creating content based on issues they're bringing to you or problems or dreams. There's got to be a collaborative connection there, or else you'll struggle forever. And it doesn't matter. I've seen guys for literally 15 years. I'm not kidding. I've been doing this for 15 years. And I don't know how these folks stick with it. I give them credit in a way. I mean, it's the patient. I mean, they have the patience of Job, or just the persistence of a tenacious lion. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just like a pack of wolves when you see them chasing down caribou or moose, whatever, for 45 minutes, an hour or two. I don't know if it's that long, but you just see it. It's incredible. And they're just posting links to their blog on Facebook groups. Check out my blog. Check out my latest post for 15 years. And doing nothing else. And some of them even asked me 15 years ago, I didn't really know what I was doing, or 14, I just not getting any traffic. There's one individual, it's funny, I still see them now and I give them credit, but ask me, I explained in detail, even at the time when I was kind of, did what I was doing. I knew at least the basics, like help people, don't just post links to your blog, you'll never get traffic. And they're still trying it. It's 2023, they're still trying what I told them in 2008 doesn't work. This is the ego. And they still haven't learned, and they're still not getting any clicks. And I mean, this guy could be 400 years old. He could be Yoda. Well, Yoda wouldn't do this because he'd be thinking more clearly as wise ascended master. But this guy could live 200 years, and he'd be like, check out my blog. And nobody's going to check it out. It's funny in a way, and I'm not mocking anybody, but it's amusing when you see life in general, when you make it all about yourself and not helping people, the nightmare it evolves into. And then you see, and you finally learn and just say, God, this isn't working. There has to be a better way, a different way. And then you'll see that there's these bloggers that are collaborating with other bloggers and listening to their readers. And to collaborate, it's like the Robert Kiyosaki quote, richest people in the world look for, that's active, guys, that's not passive, and build networks. And there's a mind component to this. It's you're putting yourself out there. You're not making it about your ego anymore. And you're building networks by helping people, by being truly helpful, which is our greatest happiness anyway. Life's miserable if you're not helping people persistently. You can enjoy your quote unquote, individual experiences, but if your mind's not out there and it's in here, you know what happens. You get in your head. And then you get into these really odd, weird patterns. We've all been there. And with blogging, this pattern of struggle, it's rough. It's very uncomfortable. But looking at these groups, guys, it's just, I've been there. And that's why I'm broadcasting live on one group and why I'm putting it on YouTube. And maybe I'll talk about it later somewhere else because, number one, it's being helpful. Intuitively, I'm inspired, guided to do it. But it feels fun to be thinking about other people, other minds, and helping them and putting it out there. So whoever comes across it, if it's their time to be ready to start succeeding, more importantly, to stop struggling, that they will watch this and process it and start living it instead of going to a Facebook group and ignoring all the other human beings as if they don't exist. And I've seen bloggers on Twitter with 600,000, 700,000 followers who get a like per each tweet. And there's nothing right or wrong with that. Put yourself out there and leverage, that's all. But unless you're being helpful on a platform and engaging and listening and serving and sharing and listening and helping, it's almost like you don't exist. It's almost like those numbers, they basically don't exist. They're just numbers because there's no human beings that are being helped. So they're not going to pay attention. And it doesn't mean that every tweet's going to get 200,000 likes, or it's just this predominant idea of when you're being helpful in different spots and you're listening and you're engaging and caring and sharing, then things will expand. If you're not, you're wasting your time. It's like you don't even exist because you don't even acknowledge that the people on the group exist. And of course, one of the funniest manifestations of this struggle is these Facebook groups. Sorry, guys, it's just going on there. It happens on LinkedIn somewhat, but especially on Facebook, where groups become just link free-for-alls. Everybody just shares their link, and there's no value. There's no content. Even links to blog posts. They drop a link. They never engage. They never listen. They never help. So it doesn't exist. It's almost like this world, these groups don't exist until you start to listen to human beings and help them. Then they will exist, and you'll start having fun helping people, and organically, because you're not attached to the outcome, that's how you get traffic from the group. That's how you get comments or customers and clients. When you get lost, caught up in helping them and thinking about a human being who asks the question. And then when they ask the question, don't just say, join my business. You have every right to promote the business. But if someone's asking a question, they didn't say, can I join your business? They said, how do I start blogging? Right? So you made a little bit of a leap there, a little bit of a self-centered, egoic assumption that they wanted to. Teach them how to start blogging, build a relationship with a human being. Then from there, that's how organically, through posture and confidence and clarity and peace and love, that's how success expands. When you get caught up or even lost in doing that during the course of a day. That's it. But it's an uncomfortable shift because you have to face the fears in your mind that are scaring the crap out of you to try to blog like it's all about you, yourself, and you don't even think about other human beings. They're collaborating and co-creating with you. If you don't do that with them, nothing's going to happen. And looking for a network, looking for people to help, it feels uncomfortable in the beginning for most. It just does, because you got to put yourself out there. And you'll see when you do that, the fears of rejection, the fears of criticism, resistance to collaborating, they're all egoic. It's your ego voice saying, don't do that because you're me. And screw that. And then you'll see the hell that you're living in, blogging wise, by listening to that jerky voice. It's not helped you yet. And then you see when you do things from love, you look at these other bloggers that are out there more and they're having fun, and you're like, oh, they get it. Maybe I'll start listening to their advice, which is love, spirit, collaboration, intuition, which is so much more fun and which incidentally positions you, whatever your level of worldly success will be, it positions you to experience that. it's so simple logically when people nod, and then emotionally, it's like if you have fear in your mind, you may come across a video and you're thinking Goa and be like, I have no time for that. And that's it. Bingo. I have no time. Me. Not, oh yeah, maybe, just maybe I should realize that this is one of the root chief causes of my blogging struggles. So guys, that's it for now. It's time for a little lunch here in Prague. Gotta charge up the phone a little bit in the lappy. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. If you have any questions about blogging, feel free to stop by my blog at bloggingforparadise.com. We have blog posts. We have blogging courses. We have blogging ebooks. We have pictures of Prague. It's a fun spot. So I'm going to go have some beans and perhaps some sauerkraut from Prague, which is really good and sweet. Love you guys. Until next time, you know what to do. Enjoy paradise all.